Hey guys, this video is for my mom, so if you're not my mom, you can keep scrolling. We got her some makeup for Christmas this year, and she wanted me to make a video on how to use it, so that's why I'm here. So if you're not my mom, but you want to know how to use your makeup, I can maybe help you with that as well. So, to start, everything's a mess, so give me just a second to like find my garbage. Okay, so you're gonna start with your primer. I'm using the Ordinary. This is actually new to me, so I don't know how this is gonna work, but you can use your Professional, mommy. You can put that all over your face. With some of those pore filling primers, you can just stick it right like where your pores are. So I get pretty bad ones like around my nose. And so sometimes when I'm going in with like those pore filling ones, I'll just put them like right here, and I don't bother using the rest. I don't bother putting it on the rest of my face, but you can do whatever you want. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with my foundation. Should have prepped a little bit better for this because I don't know where anything is. It's a mess in here. It's not the one I want. Here it is. Okay. So this one is the, hi Cecilia. This one is the Too Faced Born This Way. And I think that's the same one that you got for Christmas. So I just pump a little on my finger, put it all over my face. And then use your beauty sponge. Make sure it's wet or damp, I guess. So get it wet and then squeeze it all out and squeeze it into like a towel or a paper towel. And you blend that all over. I go over the top of my eyes, over the top of my lips, down my neck. This shade is not quite my shade right now. My neck is so white. But just blend that out until you don't have any more lines and it's all over your face. This part takes me a minute, so okay. Once that's complete, I don't know that I like this Ordinary primer. It's like, it smells kind of weird. It smells like plastic. Just in case you were wondering. I'm gonna go in with my concealer next. So that's your one in the tube. You have the same one as me, NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. For those of you just joining, I am teaching my mother how I do my makeup. So you can keep scrolling if you'd like to. I didn't open mine, so just give me a second. This is my third tube of this stuff. I love it. Okay. Okay, we're good. Everything's fine. Okay, so take your little wand and then you're gonna put it right underneath your eye here, kind of up towards your temple, and then inner corner of your eye, kind of by the bridge of your nose. This is a new technique that I've been trying lately, and I think I like it a little bit better than like the triangle. So it looks like this, and then you're gonna blend it out, and you will take it under your eye. I just like this a little bit better because I feel like it makes my eye look more lifted. And then I do take this over the top of my eyelid because it helps prime for the eyeshadow. And then kind of down the nose. And then lately I've noticed some like wrinkles on the very side of my eye, which are new. So that's been fun, and I've had to like fill that in with concealer because it doesn't just go over my skin like a smooth baby's butt anymore. Now I got wrinkles. And then we're just gonna do the same thing on the other side. So just take it underneath your eye up towards your temple, and then your inner corner, and then kind of down your nose, just a little bit. I'm using this like camera as my mirror because my other mirror is down here, so sorry if this is kind of strange, but again, you're just gonna blend it out and go over the top of your eyelid, prime everything. This concealer is my favorite. I love it. I go through it pretty quickly because obviously you see I use quite a bit of it, but like I know that everybody's obsessed with like Tarte Shape Tape, which it's a good concealer. Like I don't have anything against it, but its price, that's what I have against it because it's like $27 or something ridiculous. This is like $8 or $9, maybe $7. But NYX you can get on sale usually at Ulta. They'll do a lot of like buy two get one free or buy two get one half off. That's one of their brands that they do quite often. So I'll usually buy them in bulk when I can get them like that. But anyway. Okay, now we're all, let me check in my mirror one second. Okay, we're all blended out. You have the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder, so get that out. I have a couple more people watching, so if you're watching, I'm showing my mom how I do my makeup. We got her some makeup for Christmas and she wanted to learn how to do it. So, your loose powder, I just take the other side of my sponge. So I was using this flat side to blend everything out, like as far as my concealer and foundation go. So still damp, you're gonna use this side and just dip it in there. And then you're just gonna set everything that you just placed as far as the concealer goes. Make sure you go over the top of your eyelid again. Okay. Keep this out. You're still gonna want it and get like a big fluffy brush if you've got one, kind of like this. Mine's dirty because I don't clean my brushes very often. It's not dirty, it's just got a ton of powder in it because I use it for powdering. So you're gonna take that and then you're just gonna set the rest of your foundation. And I use kind of dabbling motions at first, just because your foundation's kind of sticky. So just dab that powder in everywhere. And then after you've kind of dabbed it in everywhere, I just go over everything in like circular motions and get it good. And yes, I'm aware that my neck is like not the same color, so we're just gonna not talk about that, okay? This isn't a tutorial about how to make your neck match your face. Okay. Now we're here. The next step I usually go in with is my contour. So mommy, this will be your NARS, the brown shade in your NARS palette. I don't have that one, so I'm going to use my Shade and Light from Kat Von D. And then you're going to want, here's my little brush. Obviously I was not prepared for this. Usually I take like a little circular brush. I don't see it. Okay, we're gonna do this instead. I'm gonna take this brush. So usually I have one that's like a little bit smaller and less dense. It's a little bit fluffier than this, but this will work just fine. So I just tap it in kind of on the side and then tap it against your thing to get all the excess off. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna find your cheekbone. So mine's like right here. And you're gonna contour that. So you're gonna make basically what is your shadow of your cheekbone just more pronounced. So mine's right here-ish. I kind of want to use my mirror for this. I'm going to look down, so that's why I'm looking this way. And you're just going to start at the very edge of your face, kind of into your hairline. And then make your way down your face that way. So this is just right under your cheekbone. I haven't grabbed any more product. I'm just blending this out. You can always go in and add more if you need to, so don't go in with a whole lot at first. But I'll sit here and blend this for just a second so that it's all kind of blended out, obviously. There's no harsh lines or anything on that. So you'll see that that just kind of accentuated that shadow on this side, so that when I turn and face the camera, this side is more pronounced than this side. My face is a little bit crooked, so we're just gonna ignore that fact, but I'm gonna do that on the other side now. So again, you just tap, tap. Find your cheekbone, and you're putting this right underneath your cheekbone. You don't want to take it down too far, because if you take it down too far, you're gonna drag your whole face down. So if you're accentuating a shadow that's down here, it's gonna make your cheekbone look like it's down there. So we're just accentuating that shadow that's already there. Add a little bit more on this side. And I'm just gonna blend this out. So I'm gonna look in my mirror for a second that's down here. Make sure this is all blended. So you'll see when I face forward now, that is a little bit more accentuated here. And then we're gonna do the same thing again, but this time we're gonna take it on our temple. So just right here. And it's kind of from like the point of your eyebrow out and just up. So you're contouring this part of your forehead. And this really just balances out those shadows, so you don't just have like the single ones on your cheeks. You're kind of balancing everything out here. So that's that. So again, it's from the corner of your eyebrow out to your hairline, and then I would say about third, I guess. Like this outer third, and then you're going to do this outer third. So it's kind of where your arch is of your eyebrow. And then you're just going to take that and blend that out. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Be really careful with these contour colors because they are dark. So that's why I always tap off my brush like that. Because I can always go in with more if I need to, but you can't necessarily take it away once it's on. Okay, so you'll see now I've contoured my forehead, and I'm gonna just connect those two up top here in my hairline. So I haven't added any excess product. I'm just connecting those and blending that out. And I blend a lot. Like, you'll notice that there's a lot of like dead silence. That's because I'm blending, and I can't think and blend at the same time. But I do blend quite a bit because I don't want any like weird lines on my face. You want this to all look as natural as possible. As natural as possible with these 87 products on your face. Okay, so one's forehead and, let me look in the mirror here. Okay, once forehead and cheeks are done, I like to go in to my jawline, and this is relatively new, but right underneath your ear, like here, I kind of accentuate that shadow because it helps define like that jawline, which is a relatively new trend, I guess. People are getting like fillers in their jawline to accentuate that. I have a decent jawline, so I just use makeup, but if you want to get fillers and stuff, that's fine. You can do that. So I just take that right underneath there, and I'm pushing my brush like up to my jaw. I'm not necessarily like taking it on my neck. I do drag it down a little bit, but most of the product is just going to go right here on my jaw. And then I do drag it down just a tad to make sure that everything's blended. So that's one side. And then the other side, we're going to do the same thing. So just take that right under your jaw. And then I kind of follow this like contour of my neck. So whatever this like muscle is back here, I just kind of follow that down when I'm blending. Okay, and then I do have a bit of a double chin. So I just like to take this just right underneath, really lightly. And that just kind of helps shadow that so that it's not so prominent. I just blend that out. For those of you just joining, I'm teaching my mom how I do my makeup so she can do hers the same way because she got makeup for Christmas. Okay, so that's the contour. So you can see that everything's kind of accentuated a little bit more. It's not just flat. Next, we're going to go in with blush. So that's your other part of your NARS palette, Mommy. I'll use NARS too, because I do have a NARS blush. And then I like to use a flatter brush for this. You can use one that's like a little bit more spread out, kind of like this, that's flat on the top. You can use, where's my dense one? Cool, I don't know where, oh, here it is. Okay, here's one of them. You can use one that's kind of like this and angled, flat on the top and a little bit more dense than that other one. You can also use one kind of like I used for the powder all over. Be careful because the NARS blushes are pretty pigmented. Some of them take a while to build up, so you'll know when you use them, but I always use the same technique going in, so I'm just going to use this flat one that's a little bit denser, and go in, tap, 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 same thing. And then you're going to put this not necessarily like right on the center of your cheek, but kind of from the center up. So it's going to go just right on top of that contour. You're going to put that there. So yeah, the NARS ones I would say are a little bit more pigmented than most that I use. But you're just going to put this right on top of your cheekbone. Like, it's not the apples of your cheeks. Like they used to tell you, like, smile. But when you smile and you put it here, as soon as you drop your face, it's down here. So you smile here, and then it drags down your face, if that makes sense. My dogs are barking. So sorry if you can hear them. So I just build that up until I get the color that I want. And you just kind of blend that in with the contour so it's all seamless. It's not just like a line of blush and then a line of contour. Like, you want everything to blend out together. Chanel. We'll do the other side. I like a lot of blush, so I'll go in like multiple dips, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Okay. And then on the last stroke of whatever, I take whatever's left on my brush, so I don't go back in, but I'll just rub that on my nose. And it just kind of gives you like almost like a sunburnt look, but like in the cutest way. And then just drag that out just a little bit. Don't use any new dips. Sorry, my dogs are barking at the door and Chris isn't home. Okay, so now you have this. So the next step I'm going to go in with is highlight. That's your little box one from Benefit. I'm going to use Sleek. I like it because it's a little bit brighter. I don't know, whatever. Looks like this, but you can go into your little highlighty guy. And I'm using just like a big old fluffy brush. It's not big, I guess. This is it compared to my finger. Like, so, yeah. I like a fluffier brush though that's not so densely packed, because you're gonna want this to kind of swirl out as much as possible. So same thing, just tap off the excess, and then this is gonna go right at the very top of your cheekbone. And I wouldn't go any further than about the corner of your eye, the outer corner here. You're just gonna blend that out. I like to take my brush sideways at this point and just go up and down to blend that. So you'll see how that goes. I'll usually go a couple dips into that. Same thing. And then other side. Same deal, just at the top of the cheekbone. And I'm not going any further than about the outer corner of my eye. You can add as much or as little of this as you want. It does accentuate skin texture. So anything that's like shiny, shimmery, luminous, dewy, you're gonna have some accentuation to your skin texture. That's just the way that luminosity works, I guess. So if you have problem areas like pores or wrinkles or whatever up here that you don't want to accentuate, make sure you're kind of avoiding that. But I do like having that just at the very top of my cheekbone. I need to sneeze. Okay, it's gone. Oh, okay. And then I like to take it just at the very tip of my nose. So I think that's cute. And then some people will put it on their forehead, on their chin. I'll usually take it right here, just right underneath my nose, on top of my lip. Just with whatever's left over from when I did my nose. I don't put a ton here. I don't like putting it on my own forehead and my own chin because my skin is naturally pretty oily. And it will take out some of that and like make it look funky. So I just don't put it on my T-zone at all. But definitely tops of the cheekbones, and I do like it on my nose because I just think that's cute. Okay, face. Take your setting spray. You should have the same one. It's the Morphe one. It's an aerosol, so it's just continuous spray. You just let that dry. And then we'll go in with eyeshadow. Okay, I know you have the Naked Honey palette. For those of you just joining, I'm talking to my mother. And you are going to take something slightly smaller than that highlighting brush. So you don't want something quite this big, but you do want like a fluffy brush like that. So I will take this one that's not clean. So this is the highlighting brush. This is the one that I'm going to go in with first for my eyeshadow. I'm just going to rub that on a paper towel. Take off that excess because that's the same as cleaning it. And then I'm going to go in with this one here. This is mirrored, I think. So it's the third one from the left. Called Swarm. And same thing, I do this with all my brushes. I just dip it and then tap it off. And then you're gonna go in. I like to start kind of at the edge here. And how do I describe this? You're gonna be in the corner of your eye and in the crease. And so you want your fluffy brush to be just like following your eye crease. And I just go back and forth. And blend that out. And then I want to add a little bit more color there, so I'm going to do the same thing. You just go back and forth. You kind of keep your eye open, that helps. You find that like crease. And you just blend. This is why a fluffy brush is important, because it'll kind of take that product out, blow it out like it needs to be for this part. And then I'm going to go other eye, same color, still in that Swarm. Just going to go back and forth. Make sure you have even color placement. Should look something like that. Some days I just stop here and that's all I put on, and it works for me. Some days I go in and do more, because more is more. Okay, I'm gonna take another brush that's a little bit smaller. So this is the one that I was just using for that color. This is the one that I'm going in with now. So you'll see that it's not as like fluffy. It's a little bit more densely packed and it's a little bit shorter, but it's still kind of fluffy. That's what that looks like. I'm gonna rub it on my paper towel because I didn't wash my brushes. And then we're gonna go in with Keeper. So that's that one. And then again, just tap, 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 tap. And then you're gonna put this is gonna be a little bit more precise. So you're still gonna go in that crease area, but because your brush is a little bit more densely packed, you're gonna have your first color kind of blown out up here, you see, and then this color just kind of accentuates that. So you're building a gradient. And I don't usually take this darker color all the way in. I like to stop about here. The other side. Okay. Why does my eye look weird? Whatever. Okay. You can go one step further and take an even smaller, more densely packed brush. So this is the one that we just used for Keeper. This is a smaller, denser one. And take like a dark color. So like we can go in with Sting. On most days, this is kind of just where I'll leave it, but you can go in. And this one, I like to get even more precise. So again, you're just building in that crease. In this one, with the dark ones, I don't usually go past the center of my eyeball. So just right in there. Other side. I'm trying to use this camera as a mirror and it's really not too friendly. Okay, does my eye look weird? My eye looks weird. Text me and tell me if my eye looks weird because I feel like it does. Okay, so once that's blended, you can see I'm like more careful with the placement on these darker colors. Those ones that are pretty close to skin tone, so like this one here, it's a couple shades darker than like my natural skin. I'm not all that careful with. And in fact, you can take that first fluffy brush that you used. If you feel like this is looking a little funky, take that first fluffy brush, go in with your first color, and you can just go over the top of that. Oh, she texted me and said my eye looks fine. Thank you. In case you missed that because you were texting me, you can take your first fluffy brush, go back in with your first color, and go over the top of all of that, and it'll kind of blend it together. So if you just feel like the lines look kind of funny or like it's not quite blended, I'll just take that first color, first brush, go over it again, and it all kind of meshes together and makes it pretty. All right, now this particular palette does not have like a light metallic-y shimmery color that I want. So what you can do is you can go back in with your highlighter. So that little box that you had, you can go in with that if you'd like, or if you have another eyeshadow that you'd like to use, you can use it. But I like almost a white metallic shimmery color. Let me see what I've got here. No, no, no. I don't want any of these. I'll go into this. Okay, so I'm going in with my Jaclyn Hill palette. And I will use one of these top two colors. So these are shimmers. I'll probably use the second one here. It's just like a yellowy white shimmer. And I'm going to use a flat brush like this. So it's flat. And I'm just gonna go in, and then I'm gonna take this across my lid. And I just kind of follow that crease and do everything below the crease. This is getting significantly more difficult to use this camera as a mirror. But yeah, on the days when you're kind of in a hurry and you just want some face makeup and like a quick, I'll use like, I usually do my full face routine, and then I'll use my highlighter for the top of my eyelids, and then my bronzer, so the one that we use to contour here, I'll use that for my eyelids and call it good, like, or my eye crease, so that I'm not using a ton of different products, and it just kind of helps cut down my time. Okay, so there's that all over my lid. And then I know that you mentioned the inner corners, so this is where this would come in. You can use that same color or your highlight if you're using a different eyeshadow, and you're just gonna pop it right where your inner corner goes up to meet your nose. Sometimes I'll accentuate this with like a white eyeliner. You can use that as well. And I like to pack it in there, so I like it to be pretty bright. And then I'll take this same color and I'll just go right here in the arch of my eyebrow and blend that out. Okay, here we are. Next, so I do my eyeliner and mascara and lashes last usually, so before I go into those, I'll do my eyebrows. And I'm actually out of my favorite eyebrow product, so I'm going to be using a different one. If I can find that one too. My life is a mess. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to use this little NYX pencil. It's just a double-sided eye pencil. Has a little spoolie on one side. So I brush my brows first. I'm going to have to do this in a mirror. There's no way. I can get a little bit closer. Okay, so just brush them out. And I'm going to take my little pencil. Try this. usually start at the front and I just stroke in like hairs. Because the front of my brows are kind of bald. And then I'll usually take, sorry, I'm blocking this. I'll usually take from this corner, like the very edge, and just draw lines down this way. Just to give me something to work off of. And then I'll go in and fill in bald spots with the same strokes. And then I accentuate the shape, so I'm just going to follow the shape of my brow and draw a line up and down. I know this is not like the proper way to do eyebrows, but I really don't care. This is how I do them. I like to make sure that I have like an arch, like a decent arch. So I'll draw that in. Have it come down. And then, oh, I need to wax my eyebrows so bad. Okay. And then I'm just kind of wiping up spots that I messed up on. I like to make sure that the tail is pretty sharp. So, the dogs. Chanel always starts it. Okay, so this is kind of what we're working with. This is difficult. And I think the biggest mistake that I made when I started filling in my brows was using a color that was too dark. I have pictures of me with like black eyebrows, and that was not cute. Because my hair is blonde, obviously. And so start light and go darker if you need to. And I know some people will actually like use a lighter color on the inner side and then like go darker out here. Who has time for that? Okay. Eyebrow one done, I think. Sometimes I go back to it after I've done this other one to make sure that they match, but same kind of thing here. You'll see like my natural brow just kind of takes like a turn. I accentuate that to make it like a sharp thing just because I like eyebrows that are shaped like that. And that just kind of comes with practice. I know that the first time that I did my eyebrows, that was not what they looked like. They looked frightening. Just filling in the bald spots here. And I know you've mentioned before that your tail is like not as long as you'd like it to be, so you can take that out and extend it. I just try not to go any further than about, I don't know. Like when you're looking straight on, you want to be able to see the end of your eyebrow. Like I know people that have taken it like way down here and it's like, oh, it keeps going. And they turn to the side. So, I mean, you can make it as long as you want, but this is just where I take mine, is to where like my temple is so that you can see them straight on. And they have like all that math where you can like from the tip of your nose to this or whatever. I'm like, no, okay. I don't need math to do my makeup. Okay. Those actually don't look too bad. Add a little bit here. I try and make them pretty even so that they match like tops and bottoms on the end here. Fendi. And then I'll fluff up kind of the ends of my eyebrows here, like my actual hairs. Just because that's like been on trend lately, is like fluffier, fuzzier eyebrows, which is hilarious because like 10 years ago it was like maybe 15, how old am I? Yeah, like 15, 20 years ago it was like how thin can you get your eyebrows without them being non-existent? And now it's like all big fluffy eyebrows are cool. There's the brows. I'm gonna call that good. If you've got it, you can run a brow gel through yours. I don't think it really matters. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. With your brows, I know they stay in place pretty well and you have like nicely shaped brows already. Mine kind of get scraggly, so I'm just gonna run some gel through them. They're all barking. They're all barking. They're being bad. Chris is home now. Okay. Hi.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. I'm still recording this for my mom. I said I'm still recording this.
I've definitely.
Hey, get out of here.
Love you.
Love you. Okay. Next. We are going to use eyeliner. I don't want brown though. I know that you have your Lashify or whatever you're using, and so you can skip this part if you want to. I like to use eyeliner to blend the lash band that I'm about to glue down. So that's why that's like the sole purpose of my eyeliner, is to make sure that they look blended. So sorry, I'm looking in the mirror. Here, I'll do this. But I just make a line. Of liquid liner. Try and keep it as straight as I can. And I don't feel like doing a wing today, so I'm not going to. Other eye. Good enough. Okay, and then I will curl. One side. And then mascara. I do mascara before I do the lashes. Speaking pack. I don't need to. Okay. Mascara first. Take my little lash. Get some glue. Apply the glue to the lash. Let that dry down just a titch. I did have some tweezers. Oh, here they are, right in front of me. Oh, yeah, this isn't gonna be a thing. I'm not using this as a mirror. Okay. Side note, you probably shouldn't use tweezers like right next to your eyeball. They do make eyelash tweezers. I just don't have any on me right now. And then you're gonna squish together your natural lashes and your unnatural ones. So it looks like that. Same thing on the other side. I like this mascara because I feel like it doesn't lay down a whole lot of product. The wand is really small too, so I can kind of get in as much as I need to. Okay. Just putting glue on this lash. Make sure your edges have plenty of glue on them, because those are the parts that will pop up if they do not. Okay. Got the little mirror again. I'm just placing the ends to make sure they're exactly where I want them to be. The center doesn't really matter. I usually just pull it down to meet that lash line. But the ends are what's most important. You want to make sure that those are secure. So I like this little glue too because it has a brush on it. So like worst case scenario, say the inner corner is coming up, you can just take like your little brush and brush it back on there and glue it back down. Okay. So we are here. Sorry, this is almost dry. I just want to make sure that it's gonna stay in place. Okay. You can, if you would like, go back into your eyeshadow and do like a line of eyeshadow underneath. I just don't feel like it right now. Where did I put my eyeshadow? Oh, here it is. I'll do it just for the sake of showing you. So eyeshadow, I'm gonna use the smallest brush that we were using before, and I'm gonna take, so not the darkest one that we used, but I'm gonna take this one that's right here called Drip, tap that in, and I'm just gonna drag that under my lash line. I'll do that on the other side too. This is optional. So I usually just do the one color. You can take a fluffier brush and a lighter color and kind of blend that out, but we're not doing it. Okay, mascara again and get your lower lashes. I'm just gonna do that in my mirror down here. Lower lashes again. Last but not least. Oh, okay. Lip liner, you can use your little lip crayon that you got from Buxom. I'm just gonna line everything out. Sorry, you can't really see. I'm not making like a singular 90s line. Like this will all be kind of blended in. So don't worry about making it perfect, but do try and get like a crisp edge on the outside. I'm trying to do this quickly and it's not working out in my favor. The mailman is here and he's very dangerous. Okay, so I'll just kind of leave like a little bit there in the center, but for the most part, everything kind of comes in. And then you can go over this with a lipstick if you would like, but I'm just gonna go over it with a gloss. Which one is the question? I'm gonna use this one because it's glittery and I'm trying to be festive here, I guess. And that is it. I think. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. Okay. Love you, Mommy.